It's something on one hand has been around in a very primitive form for a very long time. I mean, at the heart of the Internet of Things is sensors and sensor technologies. The Internet of Things is about connecting those sensors to the Internet. Each sensor can now have a unique address. We can identify where it is, we can upload data from it. But that's not what really the Internet of Things is about. The really exciting thing about the Internet of Things is it's a new way of building services. It's a new way of organizing society. It's a way of collecting information and processing information that can be used to the benefit of society. So it's really an extension of the Internet as we know it today. The Internet as we know it today, I always think of it as the macro Internet. So everything is at a kind of a macro scale. So people talk about downloading videos, people talk about Google World, people talk about these things. In the Internet of Things, we're talking about very small sensors, billions of sensors, constantly collecting information, constantly monitoring the environment that we're in. And this gives us the opportunity to actually build data around these sensors, the environment which suits us as citizens, that supports us as citizens. So now, uniquely, we have this opportunity to organize our society, organize our life in a way in which technology supports it rather than inhibits it, rather than maybe impedes it. So if you look at in the Internet of Things, these sensors, we can use these sensors in a health environment. I mean, health is a very good example. One of the issues with health is that if you want to diagnose a particular problem that a citizen has, when they go into a hospital, they're not in their natural environment. So they're tense. Doctors trying to interpret their state in terms of their health, and they're in an alien environment. With sensor technology, you can actually use sensors, put sensors on the body, monitor the behavior of a citizen as he goes about his daily chores. He's in his natural environment. So the information is more precise and more exact. And then we can use that information to diagnose the patient. In another way, we can use those sensors to actually intervene, for instance, delivery of drugs, deliver the drugs at the right time. So that's a simple example. So you see there, sensor technology, collecting information, we're processing that information, it's helping us to make decisions. That's helping to make the citizen's life better. Well, it's kind of a convergence, I suppose. On the one hand, obviously the technology and advances in technology, the miniaturization of technology, more powerful devices, that's driving the ability to build new and exciting sensors, cheap sensors. But the real drive behind the Internet of Things is the citizen. So this is another thing that's happened in the Internet, and which the Internet of Things, if you like, is driving the next generation. We've moved from a very technology-centric to people-centric to a citizen-centric environment. Yeah, it's true, and as the next big wave and the next phase of the Internet, obviously, and particularly as the drive for economic development, every country is going to see the Internet of Things as an area that they need to be in. In Ireland, we're very fortunate. We're a small community. We're a network community. Going back to what I was saying previously about the driver behind the Internet of Things, it's partly technology, it's partly people. We have the ability to network all of the players who can deliver the type of solutions that the Internet of Things is promising. So we have top-class researchers here, we have the multinationals here, we have a very dynamic indigenous industry, particularly in the area of ICT and in the area of mobile apps and the Internet. We also have very educated citizens, and this is, I suppose, where the opportunity comes from the Internet of Things, that putting the citizen at the centre of it, creating, if you like, Ireland as an early adapter of the Internet of Things gives us huge advantage. It's very important that we bring together the key players and that we build a platform, an open innovation platform that allows these players to collaborate and cooperate, share information, to optimize the opportunities for economic development. And that goes right through from all activities. So in research, we need to look at how we build research partnerships. And it's very important that particularly in research, that these partnerships are formed at the idea stage, not later on, where you're trying to bring maybe two outcomes from different research groups that are mismatched. Simply by its definition, the Internet of Things incorporates both physical devices and software. And so you need to bring together both the researchers who are working in the physical space and the researchers who are working in the software space, and also designers in terms of how you present the outcome. So a very good example of us building capacity in Ireland and achieving this collaboration is the MOU between ourselves and Tyndall. Tyndall are world leaders in the development of these devices. We're world leaders in the development of services on top of these devices. You bring it together, you get critical mass, and it's probably one of the more unique collaborations globally, that you've got hardware and software working together. But we don't do this in isolation, we do it with the industry. So our partners in this collaboration is the industry itself, the multinationals who can bring the global perspective, and indigenous industries who can very rapidly innovate the outcome of this collaboration and build new products. But at the end of the day, the key player in this is the government, because as a society, we have to implement this technology in our own society. If we're not doing that, we cannot sell into the rest of the world. So we have to be an exemplar society for the type of services that the IoT is capable of delivering.